The Sahara Desert is the largest, hottest, most dangerous, and most inaccessible area on Earth. This vast desert has existed since long before humans were born. After sunrise, the temperature here exceeds 55 degrees Celsius. And as night falls, the sand becomes so cold that it freezes. In this extreme environment, it is not possible for humans, animals, insects, or any other living thing to survive. Therefore, only a few rare and very resilient animals can survive in a region like the Sahara. This is why the entire desert is almost uninhabited, dry and treeless. However, some tribal communities live within the borders of several countries bordering the Sahara Desert, whose life is a symbol of struggle. There are some tribes who have built their homes in this desert. They have built their homes with sand dunes. However, the question remains, how do they survive in this harsh and dangerous environment? How did the Sahara turn from a once green region into a vast desert? And the importance of the Sahara Desert to us remains. In today's video, we will go on a Sahara expedition and try to find the answers to all these questions. So please watch the video in full. Even today, there are some tribes living in the heart of the Sahara Desert whose lifestyle is far from modern civilization. It's as if they are living in a completely different world. There is no electricity, no technology, not even a city or road. They have no modern materials to build houses. The only hope for survival is sand, animal husbandry, and these small houses they have built themselves. These tribes are not very numerous, but there are about 24 main tribal communities scattered throughout the Sahara. The best known of these are the Tuareg, the Tibu, the Moor, and the Bedouin. Of these, the Bedouin are the most ancient and one of the most mysterious groups living deep in the Sahara. The life of the Bedouins is completely dependent on the desert. To escape the intense heat of the day, they usually rest during the day and begin their work at night. Their clothing is light but covers their entire body, which protects them from the sun's rays and the hot sand. They live in these small houses made of sand, which keeps the inside a little cooler than the outside temperature. Also, tents made of tree bark, goat skin, or cloth serve as their temporary shelter. The main livelihood of these tribes is animal husbandry. They raise camels, goats, sheep, etc., and earn their living by selling their milk, meat, and skins. Some also work as small traders or tourist guides along ancient trade routes in the desert. Since water is scarce in this desert region, they rely on a few specific wells for water, the locations of which they have remembered for generations. Each well is like a gold mine for them. It is the only life-giving source. They have their own culture, language, and beliefs which are completely different from modern society. They celebrate festivals in their own way and sing folk songs. Children can understand the responsibilities of life only after puberty. So imagine a desert where the sand burns in the heat of the day and the cold at night, where some people have not only survived for centuries, but have also developed a complex social system. Looking at these brave and struggling people, it truly seems that humans know how to adapt to nature, no matter how difficult the situation. History and structure of the Sahara Desert. When we hear the name Sahara Desert, we think of intense sun, dry weather, a realm of endless sand, and hot deserts. But do you know what looks like a dry desert today? Once upon a time, this Sahara was a vast area surrounded by greenery. So the question may arise, where did all this sand come from? In fact, billions of years ago, this entire region was the bottom of a vast ocean. This entire area was a part of the Earth's surface hidden beneath the ocean. About 250 million years ago, the Tethys Ocean flowed over the Sahara. Over thousands of years, the pressure and flow of this ocean deposited thick layers of limestone on the bottom. Over time, new continents began to form as the Earth's geography changed. When the land masses of Africa, Europe, and Asia began to break apart, the Sahara Desert was formed between them. Gradually, the sea receded, and the history of the dry desert began. The dry winds began to hit the limestone hard. As a result, the limestone gradually broke down into small particles. Over millions of years, these particles have become vast sand dunes across the Sahara. Where the desert was once dominated by limestone, white sand deserts now exist. Where the sandstone was once dominated by sand, yellow sand dunes have formed. Even today, incredible sand dunes of various colors still exist across the Sahara. Scientists have also found fossils of many extinct plants and marine creatures in the Sahara. This proves that this area was once filled with water and was home to algae and marine plants on the seabed. Before that, there was probably a green forest here. How big is the Sahara Desert? The Sahara Desert covers an area of about 9.2 million square kilometers, which is the same size as the entire continent of Europe. Almost 1/3 of the world's land area is desert, and among them, the Sahara is the largest sandy desert in the world. However, if you have heard that the Sahara is the third largest desert, that is also correct. Because Antarctica and the Arctic are larger than the Sahara, but they are dry deserts covered in snow. Scientifically, a desert is an area that receives less than 10 inches of rain per year. As such, the Sahara is the largest of the sandy deserts. This desert covers 1/3 of the African continent and is shared by a total of 11 countries, such as Mali, Morocco, Mauritania, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Niger, Chad, Sudan, and Egypt. The word Sahara comes from the Arabic language, which means desert, and there are many mysteries surrounding this Sahara Desert. On June 3, 1965, during NASA's Gemini 5 mission, astronauts James McDavid and Edward White saw a strange formation while flying over the Sahara, what looked like a human eye with an eyeball in the middle. This mysterious structure was so huge that it could only be seen from space. It was later named the Eye of Sahara, or the Richard structure. At first, scientists thought it might have been created by a meteorite impact, but research has not found any evidence for that. After many speculations, it was thought that it might be a creation of an ancient civilization. Historians believe that this region of the Sahara may be the site of the lost city of Atlantis, mentioned by the Greek philosopher Plato and the historian Herodotus, who described the city as an advanced civilization, which looked like a circular ring, and each ring of this city was connected by different bridges and different waterways. So there was so much similarity between this eye-like structure and the description of Atlantis that many believe that the ancient lost city of Atlantis is hidden in the middle of the Sahara. Oasis was born in the heart of the Sahara. In the middle of the sandy desert of the Sahara, a small shelter of life can be seen somewhere. Oasis, or desert. Where the land is slightly lower in the sand, there the ground breaks out and streams of water come out. The tribes of the Sahara meet their water needs from that stream, and plants grow around that water. A piece of green land is created. There is such an oasis called the Anidi Plateau, where some African crocodiles still live today. Scientists say that thousands of years ago, this area was covered with water. Crocodiles settled here then, but now they are almost extinct. Also, some African lions were seen in the Sahara until 1940, which no longer exists today. The Sahara is the cradle of human civilization. Historically, an ice age has occurred on Earth once every 51,000 years. At that time, a snowy environment was created around. But Africa and the Sahara were a region that never experienced extreme cold. As a result, life was able to survive here. Scientists believe that human civilization originated in Africa and later spread to various parts of the world. Our ancestors or their ancestors may have originated from this Africa. The danger of the Sahara is the expanding desert. Unfortunately, the Sahara Desert is expanding day by day. Scientists say that the expansion of the Sahara increases 10 times every 100 years. If it is not stopped now, one day the whole of Africa will turn into a desert. Right now, 82% of the people of Africa depend only on rainwater. As a result, the expansion of the Sahara means famine and disaster, and all the tribes living in the heart of the Sahara will end. However, to address this crisis, various African countries have started the Great Green Wall project. It is a 7,600-kilometre long and 15-kilometre wide wall of trees. Work has begun on building it around the Sahara to prevent the spread of the desert, which is a revolutionary plan. The Sahara is not just a desert, it is a hot desert of history, mystery, and life. What are your thoughts? You can write to us in the comment box. If you like the video, please give it a like. Then see you in the next new episode. Thank you.